days as we are live.
Have a seat, Mommy. Let's see if anybody comes in.
I just gotta get the tablet going so we can read comments.
What's happening, everybody? We are live.
So we hope.
And it's Saturday night. So, Saturday Night Live, April 1st. Who did you April Fools today?
Who did you April Fools today?
I got everybody today.
Who did you April Fools today?
I got everybody today. Nitro's pretty on me. I seem to get everybody all the time, every April Fools. So.
Well, we all know who I got.
Yeah.
I got my brother.
You got your brother, and I got my mom and my brother.
It was quite funny.
Just so happened to be March 31st. We had, 50 tornadoes ripped through the Midwest. So, what do you think we did April 1st in the morning? She sent her brother a text, and I sent my mom and my brother a text that we lost the house, and that we were staying in a shelter, and we didn't have no vehicles.
Hi, Rattlesnake!
So when we sent that text out this morning that we didn't have a house or vehicles, it got sucked up in a tornado. My mom and my brother were packing their stuff to come down and pick us up. My brother called me. He's like, I'm on my way. Pick you guys up. And I was like, April Fools.
My brother called me not so nice names.
Well, you want me to have the ball?
Neither did. Don't you bump that,
He wants butt rubs. All right, Rottweiler, there you go. You got butt rubs.
So I hope everybody's having a good day.
Cholo's done.
Woo!
Screwball. Ed Hardy. Who needs a shot glass? I got Fireball too, y'all, so y'all want to come down. It's Screwball or Fireball. Nitro can't handle just a little bitty shot. It's been a crazy 6-7 months of winter. Building this Cholo out in that garage in freezing cold temperature.
Rattlesnake said he took his dad and his girl to the Dundon Highland Games today.
Oh, cool. Cheers.
I'm sure I said that wrong. Of course, the Rottweiler's got to be right here.
Yeah, Bubby's got to be right here with Mommy and Daddy. So hopefully everybody, all your families are safe. And best thing you can do is check on your elderly people, check on your family. You know, we got another round of this stuff coming through Tuesday and Wednesday, so.
And subscribe to Ryan
Hall, y'all.
Because he does really good weather.
Yeah, he's the weatherman. So what I have going across is the bike that I spent all winter doing. And you'll see a lot of other bikes. You'll see, and they're all my bikes. You're gonna see all my grandkids on here. You're gonna see probably Greg Almond, Mr. Midnight Rider. You see a bunch of models sitting on bikes, but that's just biker porn. Nitro can't have a slideshow going without some biker porn. So yeah, this is all winter of trying to get stuff done, taking pictures of the bike. Said I didn't even have the turn signals on. There's the famous Rottweiler. I call him the Potweiler, Mr. Zeus. There's our coffee cups.
Oh, the stickers.
Mama's got a whole bunch of new coffee cups. She's got stickers. She's got a bunch of stuff. That's me and my brother-in-law and Floki. That's Ice, my sister Kelly, the White Devil. There's the White Devil and Ice. That's my sister on the back. Of course, there's the Potweiler making sure Daddy does the concrete right.
Here are the new stickers. This is one.
That's my son Hot Rod. This is a movie shoot I did in a movie called Stray Bullet. That's the first bike I bought my son. That's my son with my grandson Junior sitting on the bike. That's Matthew. That's Brat with our babies, Zeus and Princess. I took this picture out in Colorado, right off Fort Carson, y'all. Everybody said it was flares. I said it was a UFO. F around, find out. That's me with Humpty Dumpty.
Thank you, Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake.
That was my CVO that I sold everybody. That's me marching in with the Marine Corps, taking the battle flag in. That's my grandkids on the CVO. That's Mommy and Princess.
Rattlesnake liked them.
There's Fat Nitro up in the mountains. There's Fat Nitro in the Potweiler.
You are not bad.
That's Dad coming home from Vietnam.
Jonas!
Ta-da! Jonas. That's me and Brat up in Garden of the Gods, Colorado Springs. Look at there, rabbit ears. That's my brother down in Kentucky. That's my granddaughter Geraldine.
Thank you, Rattlesnake.
That's Nitro in front of that Nomad. That's me and my son Hot Rod up in Garden of the Gods.
Rattlesnake.
Oh, right on, Rattlesnake. Thanks, brother. That's right after I had my broken neck surgery on my Springer. There's me and my Springer up in Garden of the Gods. I think Nitro was having too much fun at Walmart. That's Nitro and Lacey. Brat showing some tatas.
There ain't nothing there to show. I'm with China Doll.
Itty bitty blank committee.
Mm-hmm.
She was helping me hold guard. That's my custom. I did all the airbrush work on that motorcycle. That's 3 of my grandkids. That's before I even put the light bar on, y'all. Cheers. I know it's early, but it's been a long week, y'all.
Yesterday was crazy. All you could do is sit and watch the TV and watch these storms roll through.
Those are the belts I tooled for the Cholo. Carlita. How's everybody else's weekend going? I don't know. I was going to tell BD if BD got on here. In 2 weeks, I've lost 10 pounds. So I'm doing the intermittent fasting. I eat one day and I don't eat the next. Carnivore diet. In 2 weeks, I've dropped 10 pounds. So, come on, BD. 2023, let's get skinny.
You got me that's just kind of maintaining.
Yeah, Brat's kind of maintaining, but that's good.
Rattlesnake said, get skinny.
Get skinny.
Get skinny.
I told that Death Before Dishonor. That was the backseat. Silly girls, tricks are for kids.
I'm also working on trying to get SteamYard up and running, but I got to figure that one out.
That was Nitro. All dressed up like a crazy green weed hatter.
Oh, my necklace I made.
That was our 2010 SS Camaro, y'all. Transformer Camaro. And that's my son Hot Rod, Floki, Brat, and me. That's brother Frank. There's that custom bike. I did all. It took me a year and a half to airbrush that motorcycle. Another one. There's me and brother Norm down in Denver. Nitro showing some love when I was 4 years old. Woo!
Wasn't that the weekend that...
Peterson Air Force Base. That's my Iron Horse. I had 2 different colored Iron Horses. Some more of my leather tooling stuff. A lot of the coat of arm members' cuts. That's me and my ride captain, Larry.
That was from our anniversary.
Beer run.
That's the next sticker I gotta try and make.
Brat and Billy.
Oh, glasses.
Miss Glasses McShades. Us back up right before she had her cancer surgery, y'all. We went out to Colorado to visit all of our friends and family so she could say hi to everybody.
I still have my steroid face. Moon face.
Moon face. There's Mr. Zeus when he was a baby. He's a 140-pound baby now.
Miss Lele.
Spoiled rotten. Look at him.
Ah, baby.
Spoiled rotten mama's boy. Ah, Bobby's. Well, yeah. Oh, I get kisses? You're such a good Rottweiler. Yeah, oh, he's like, Dad, you're on the camera. I'm supposed to be on the camera, too. Come on.
He thinks he's got to be on camera.
You're so famous. I know you're the rock star. You can't have my whiskey.
No.
Tell him
Lay
you
down.
can't have whiskey. You want whiskey?
No.
Mommy said no. That's Savannah, my granddaughter, and Grandpa's hard hat.
Garden of the Gods.
Mama's holding her 9 right there. That's my mom when she came to Colorado, y'all. I hadn't seen her in 2 or 3 years. Ta-da! Jonas. That's the Sportster I bought my son. Surprised him. I used to take pictures of the hummingbirds used to come in my apartment. That's my, I got that coin from General Petraeus for my military work with the veterans. Said there's my custom airbrush bike.
Rattlesnake said he's thinking about starting training for the Highland Games next year. He's going to have to figure out the caper training situation.
Oh, cool. I painted that truck
cool.
for my son, so, you know, Nitro's a custom painter. So I completely stripped it. We did Dodge Viper GT blue and black with black stripes. I used to play Santa Claus for the Iowa City Children's Hospital. That's my Corvette. I completely rebuilt that Corvette from the ground up. That's Geraldine giving Grandpa a hug. That's me at the nuclear base in New Mexico. There's Nitro Brat. Nitro Brat and Princess. That's me working security in Colorado Springs. Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Rattlesnake, that sounds kind of hard.
Right there, I was,
Hey, Gio. Hi, Ghost Eagle.
There's Nitro marching the flag in with the Marine Corps. There's Miss Princess. Well, you know where that's at. That's Pikes Peak.
Not too much going on here, Gio. Just kind of relaxing after all the storms yesterday.
It's a screwball kind of day, y'all.
It was kind of crazy around here.
My crazy grandkids. Tell Black Dragon, it's Get Skinny 2023. I've lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Now we're getting to the biker porn, y'all. Nitro's favorite. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm going to have to watch TV for a minute, y'all.
I'm feeling a lot better, Ghost Eagle. I'm doing a lot better. The infection is gone, so I've been actually up, moving around, doing a whole lot more than what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. There he is, Greg Allman, Midnight Rider.
Gio said they had a tornado in Chicago.
Yeah, so Davenport, where your kids
Yeah.
live? Yeah. Your daughter worked at the college. You had to rush everybody down to the basement in the college.
Yep.
St. Ambrose College in Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah, they had them. Well, they had them all in the salad room, like 200 kids, and I mean the salad room is smaller than our living room.
Yeah.
So it was a little crowded.
Colorado Springs. That's brother Sandy and Mike. I'm not real big on the screwball. I'm a little bigger on the fireball, but Floki bought me this bottle, so I'm just trying to polish it off.
We were using that to take shots on it. Every time we'd get something done around the house, we'd do those
Yeah, it was Floki likes screwball. I'm not big on the peanut butter whiskey. Me personally.
Oh, wow, Gio. It landed 11 miles away from him.
Oh, wow. Thank God you're all right, brother.
Yeah.
There's Brat with her hair black. I keep telling her to go back to black. But she takes it the wrong way.
Whatever. I'm just scared to dye it yet.
Nitro's favorite drink is Black Label Southern Comfort. So I've kind of been, since I was little, been real close to...
Oh, wow, Joe. You've never been in a tornado with the sirens? He said he's never been where the sirens went off. He didn't know what they were for. His neighbor told him to get in the basement, stupid.
It's kind of the same as air raid sirens.
Yeah.
That's my CVO. There's my granddaughter, the little devil child.
Gio said blondes have more fun.
Well, you and China Doll kind of are both Geminis.
Yes, we are.
So I ain't going any farther than that. So I keep myself out of trouble.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure you and China Doll will get along just fine.
Us Geminis have that double side. You piss off one, you bring out the other.
That's my best friend, Eva. She used to come and stay with me and Brat. Me and her were boyfriend and girlfriend when I was in the 6th grade. And then we stayed friends the rest of our lives after we broke up. We still remained friends. She died of brain cancer last year.
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Yeah. Her and me got cancer around the same time.
Gio said that means Brat is tough as nails.
She puts up with me, yo. And Nitro could be pretty ornery.
Yeah, that you can be.
She dishes it right back out, don't you?
Yes, I do. Not so much when I was sick.
Yeah.
But now that I'm starting to feel better, you
riding in a club that shall not be named, even though I don't ride in a club no more, I run Coat of Arms organization. That's where we honor our ancestral history on our father's side. Before that, I did ride with a club that shall not be named. I went completely through my prospect phase. I went into the probate phase where I got my bottom and top rocker. And at that point, I was in the middle of going through a divorce. And you can ask Brat. In the middle of the divorce, they had a Memorial Day ride. And on the Memorial Day ride, they had me in there, they had me park bikes, then they had me in cooking dinner for about 200 people?
200 to 300.
300 people. So I was cooking dinner, serving meals, and in the middle of that, they invited my ex-wife down to the clubhouse. And that kind of disrespect with having the girl that I had divorced and my new girlfriend, which was Brat at the time, at the clubhouse created so much tension. I turned my patches in to my sponsor and walked away. And because of that, they wanted me, when I went through my probate and finished my probate, they wanted me to custom airbrush every prospect's motorcycle when he graduated from prospect to probate. So Nitro was going to have to give out free paint jobs for a motorcycle club, 1% club, that had charters all over the United States. I was going to be painting prospects' motorcycles that graduated for free. I decided that wasn't for me, and it wasn't the right fit for me, when they invited my ex-wife to the clubhouse to see how I would react. So I walked away. My dues were paid. I turned in my cut and I walked away. I'm out good, but I'm out good with a no contact order. So it is what it is. And that was in 2011 when I started the Coat of Arms organization. We honor our family's bloodline on our father's side. We show respect to the ancestral history. We teach kids about the ancestral history. And we also teach kids how to ride four-wheelers, how to ride mini bikes. We hold events where we can teach kids how to go fishing, how to ride four-wheelers, how to ride mini bikes.
Hi, SNSW Customs. Rattlesnake said, just remember, it could be worse. You could have to stand a military gate with a safety line on your belt still during a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be crazy. And then,
so if a lot of you don't know, before I did all this club stuff for 6 years, I was a historian and the charter member for the American Legion Riders Post 569. I started the post at Post 569 in Milan, Illinois. So for 6 years, we did funeral escorts, deployments, send-offs. We did everything. I was raising about $100,000 a year in fish fries, and then we were taking that money and we were turning that money back out to veteran deployed families. So if somebody was deployed and their wife needed a washer and dryer, if she needed tires for her cars, if she needed Christmas money, if she needed anything, that money was going back out to deployed veterans' families. And it got to the point that the American Legion that I had belonged to, their post commander shot me down, and he's like, I'm not going to allow you to give money back out to deployed members' family because we want to keep that money here in the post so that when the end of the year comes, we can be the top post in the United States and have the most money in our bank account. And I told him I denied that. I wasn't going to do that because the money going to deployed members' families meant more to me than him having the money and being the #1 American Legion in the nation.
Yeah.
Because of that, everything I did, he went against me. So if I was going to do a speech in front of 3,000 people, he's like, well, you're only allowed to do a 2-minute speech. And I had a 5-minute speech written. The speech that he cut me off in was when we sent 3 semi-trucks to Joplin, Missouri during the Joplin, Missouri tornado. We sent 3 semi-trucks down there with blankets, water, food. We spent over $30,000 sending all this stuff to Joplin to help them people in that tornado. And I was on the news. We went to do the speech. I was going to thank all the truck drivers that gave their time, all the people that donated that came in for fish fries. And he's like, you've only got 2 or 3 minutes to do the speech.
Yeah.
So I had to wing it. At that time, I stepped out as the charter historian for the American Legion Riders Post 569. And that's about the time I had signed up for a divorce with a lawyer, with my wife at the time. I was having a lot of problems. Filed for divorce. I joined a 1% club to kind of keep me away from that drama with the ex-wife and the lawyers. It kept my mind off. Riding with the club, doing things under a brotherhood the military code. I am my brother's keeper, riding one-on-one with my brothers, doing events all over the United States, going from clubhouse to clubhouse, you know, doing my prospect work, earning my time, doing my thing. I'd gotten into trouble a couple times because there was a lifetime member, remember? Tiny?
Oh, yeah, Tiny.
Tiny was in my dad's a POW MIA. So Tiny was in the Vietnam War with my father. I knew this man before I joined the club. Well, Tiny was at my sponsor's house taking a bath. Well, for a brown-skinned man that was 6'9", 470 pounds, was in the bathtub. And my sponsor, my mother, he was at his house spending the weekend. And this lifer needed help out of the tub, Tiny. And he hollered for me to come get him out of the tub. And my sponsor jumped down my throat because I was a prospect. I wasn't even allowed to talk to a lifer. But yet me and this guy had a connection from before I was with the club. So when Tiny yelled for me, I went up to help him out of the tub. And I got my butt chewed for it. And in the end, my sponsor got taken away.
Yep, you got switched.
And then I got switched to the vice president. The vice president became my sponsor and my mother. Because this guy overstepped his boundaries. And we'll leave it at that. So, back to the pictures. We'll leave the club stuff at that. But, you know, when it comes to clubs, you guys all know I'm from Colorado, and the coat of arms got welcomed by the 1% Club, the leader, the charter clubhouse in Colorado. And we got the welcome mat, and the coat of arms is free to do what we want to do, and we got the blessings and the love. So that's how we roll. I teach all of our members how to tool leather. They tool their own coat of arms because it's their history and their ancestors. So
SSW said Tiny was almost as big as Shaq.
Huh?
Tiny was almost the same height as Shaq.
Yeah.
He was a big guy.
Big boy.
But he was a sweetheart.
For a Mexican,
yeah,
he was a big boy.
He was a sweetheart.
With a mohawk.
Yeah.
And from Chicago.
He was my favorite. I loved Tiny.
So his wife died, and, you know, as a prospect, I went behind everybody's back, even though he was a lifer, and I collected money. I did these little things where we collected money, and as a prospect, I felt good about it because I was able to get enough money to invite Tiny from Chicago all the way down to the Silvis, or the Quad Cities, and surprise him with a memorial tattoo for his wife. And the best tattoo artist in where we were from to do the tattoo for Tiny. And this man was in tears. He just couldn't believe that, you know, I paid this enormous amount of money for him to have a complete memorial sleeve done on his shoulder all the way down of him and his wife of 40-some years of marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that did his tattoo is the same one that did my sleeve.
Yeah. Show him your sleeve, baby. So the same guy that done Tiny's sleeve done Brat's sleeve. My sleeves are old school. You know what I mean? All line work from 25 years ago. But this is Brat's sleeve from the same guy that done Tiny's tattoo.
It goes all the way around. It's got butterflies and bees and... And it's all color. There's no black in it.
So there's no line work. The guy that done her tattoo and Tiny's tattoo, he's not a line work guy. So he does everything in color and then just rolls with it. Which should tell you that's a pretty talented tattoo artist.
And he does it usually. This was all freehand. He didn't use any stencils on my arms. Everything was freehand. And the bee that I have on it was kind of a joke towards Steve. But
so I mean, we'll go back to the bee story.
Everything on my tattoo, though, all the butterflies signifies somebody in my life that has passed away. So yeah, tell them your bee story.
So I worked at I'm a millwright, mechanic, maintenance specialist. I spent my whole life working in a steel foundry and a cement plant. I had worked for my cousin rebuilding and fixing forklifts. He had 3 accounts with Roadway, Holland, and another big company. I took care of about 45 forklifts. And one day I kept getting stung at the big garage door where my workbench was at by wasp. And come to find out, the truck ramp where trucks would back up to had a wasp nest in it. And I was getting stung every time I'd go over to my tool chest. Well, I went outside and I looked up underneath the ramp that lifted up where trucks would back up to and dock. And there was 2 huge wasp nests down there as big as garbage can lids. So I would say probably 2,000 wasps. So I called my cousin on the phone and I'm like, hey dude, grab me a couple cans of wasp spray so I can kill these wasps because I keep getting stung. He comes in and he gives me 2 cans of wasp spray and he leaves. So Nitro being smart, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get these wasps, right? Well, it's a truck ramp that you back your truck up to and the ramp lifts up and drops into the back of a semi. So underneath of it, you had to lay on your back and get up underneath of it. Well, when I turned the wasp can spray upside down to spray them, it came out with a little tiny stream, and all it did was piss them off. Next thing I know, I got like 2,000 wasps and they're bouncing off me, and I'm running as fast as I can as these wasps are stinging me in the back, bouncing off my back, sting.
It was funny.
Well, finally I wound up going out and spraying them, soaking them, got them all killed, finished that day out. Well, I had my motorcycle sitting right outside that ramp. I got on the bike and left to go home. Well, I had taken my mirrors off the fairing on the CVO, and I put mirrors on the bars. Well, what these wasps did was they all climbed in them little holes on your fairing. So as I'm riding down the highway, all these wasps start crawling out the holes and stinging me on the hands on the way home, like, we got you.
SSW said, ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got home that night and had a few drinks and a little bit of smoke, and I started telling her about the wasp story. And as I'm telling her about the wasp story, what happened? We had some birds. I had 2 little birds fly over to the door, my apartment door, and they were like looking at me. And then there was like bees, and then there was like other birds. It's like they all were listening to my story. Was it? She was laughing so hard. She's like, oh my God.
My stomach hurt. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
SSW said, man, those wasps were dedicated. Holy cow.
Yeah. They got even, didn't they?
They sure did.
I got stung like 25 times that day.
Oh, did you finally kill the screwball?
You can finally tell your son, Floki, I dusted it off.
You dusted it off and killed it?
Dusted it off and killed it. I'm gonna have to get on the fire. Look there!
I don't even know where the fireball is. Did I put it in the cabinet?
Oh, it's on the washing machine.
Oh. I've been moving so much stuff around trying to
Yeah.
catch up from being sick for 6 months.
Yeah. So everybody's gonna have to send this video to BD. Tell BD it's Get Skinny 2023. Nitro's down 10 pounds in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I weighed in naked out of the shower and I didn't take pictures. But I was 6'1", 270 pounds. As of yesterday, I was 260. The plan is to go down to my high school weight of 220. So I've got 40 pounds to go, y'all. I'm intermittent fasting. I eat one day, and then I don't eat the next, and I drink water all day.
It doesn't help when your wife comes home with chocolate, though.
Yeah. Y'all need to jump Brat, because she came home with chocolate mints today and Cadbury eggs.
SSW said I did millwright work and bees were the not fun part of the job.
Yeah. So S&S, I worked in Sevier Steel, and we had 3 25-ton arc furnaces. And I worked in the foundry for 6 years during my apprenticeship, and I worked swing shifts. So being a millwright maintenance specialist, every 6 months, they switch your shift so that you can learn every part of the apprenticeship program and learn what happens in every shift. So if you know anything about steel foundries, they can only melt the steel at nighttime because that's when everybody's asleep and everybody's electricity is pretty much off. Because each one of them 25-ton arc furnaces takes about 400,000 volts of electricity to melt 25 tons of steel. So the steel foundry I worked at, we made tank parts for the Abraham tanks. So Rock Island Arsenal, where they build the Abraham tanks, is right across the river from the foundry that I worked at. So we had the tank tracks that we did, and then we had the turret, and then we had the 727, Boeing 727. We had the steel ring that covers the engine and protects the jet engine. Nitro was able to set up and make the arbor that held that steel ring so that when they would dump it in the heat tank and try to cool it off, it would always warp. So I built the arbor that went around that thing that held it in place, so when they would dip it to cool it, it wouldn't warp. So, but I was lucky enough in the foundry to work with 2 specialists that were, one guy was a electrical engineer and one guy was a mechanical engineer. And they both liked me enough to tell me that when I graduated, they wanted me to leave the foundry. They said, anybody that works in a foundry usually doesn't live to be above 55 because of black lung and all the other things that comes along with working in a steel foundry. They made me promise that at the end of my apprenticeship that I would leave and go somewhere where I could give my knowledge, but yet not die an early age from black lung or brain tumors or cancer. So that's when at the end of that 6 years, I left and I went to work for Continental Cement Company and ran a cement factory. So
SSW said he never did steel mills, lime kiln, broilers, plywood, and lumber mills.
sweet. Either way, it's all the same. It's putting in machinery, your knowledge of pneumatics, hydraulics, running a CNC, whether that's a mill or a lathe, making parts, making arbors, welding. You know, a lot of people don't know that the millwright apprenticeship is a little bit of everything. You spend 4 to 6 years learning almost every skilled labor job there is out there to learn. It's a lot of work. And not only on top of all of that, I was a nationally registered paramedic for Davenport Medic. So I was also working my day job, 8, 10, 12-hour days. And then at nights, I would go to work and I would work for Davenport Medic. I would sleep at the ambulance department and go on calls. So I was working 2 jobs trying to raise 3 boys, single, as a parent, because I had went through my first divorce with my first wife and was trying to raise 3 boys that I got full custody of because my ex-wife was abusing them.
Yeah, he said, SSW said he worked around guys who worked in the foundries and the health part was not good.
Well, you know, and then the millwright, you know, millwrights are a special breed of people. And then, you know, there's very few people that actually make it to be a millwright. And at the end of the millwright apprenticeship, they used to take everybody at the steel foundry and they would drag them down and dump them in the quench tank. Well, there was 8 millwrights and none of them were big enough to drag Nitro down and dump him in the quench tank. I told them, I'll break your nose. So you know what they did? They waited for me one night. I was underneath the North Shaker. So the North Shaker shakes out hot castings. And we're talking 1,000-degree castings that just got dropped out of a mold. This machine broke and I was underneath this machine in between big steel springs that would shake these 10, 15-ton castings out. And I'm trying to weld this table with welding rod, 70-18 welding rod, 1/4 inch. I ran out of welding rod, so I could barely stick my arm out this hole. And I said, hey guys, hand me another thing of rod. They got all the millwrights down there. And instead of putting a welding rod in my hand, guess what they put in my hand? So I took my glove off, stuck my hand out, and one of them laid there, pay in my hand. And when you can't see, and all of a sudden there's something soft and squishy in your hand, you're like, oh my God, what is that? And then when it hits you, you realize you have another man's pay in your hand. I come flying out of there. Of course, none of them was going to tell me who put their me in my hand.
SSW said his dad was dunked in the log pond back in the 70s, and he's been a millwright forever. You're right, they are a fun bunch, haha.
Yeah.
And then he said the comment before that was, you probably heard of the foundry story of the guy who fell in the ladle in Oregon who survived. Yuck.
So back with that story, y'all know I was working for the Davenport Medic ambulance. So during my apprenticeship with the foundry, I was also the foundry's medic. So when I was working 2nd and 3rd shift, they didn't have a nurse. Well, one night they charged a ladle, and When they took the ladle over to pour, it had moisture in it. So when they went to dump 25 tons of molten steel in that ladle, the ladle exploded. And the guy that pours the steel, that grabs the rod and opens the little spigot to dump hot molten steel in a mold, when that ladle exploded, hot molten steel landed on that silver suit. It landed all over his chest, and he took off running. By the time they called me and I got to him, it had burned down through his suit, through all of his skin, through all of his muscle, and you could see his bones, his chest. Now, we were able to save him and get the ambulance there, and Nitro was able to take care of him until he came back a year later after physical therapy and skin grafts. The guy finally came back to work. He was back to work 2 weeks, and his wife had left him. And after all of that, this guy went out at lunchtime and blew the back of his... I can't say it because YouTube will. But yeah, he decided he didn't want to be with us no more, and it was the saddest thing I had ever had to witness, was to go out and pull this man out of his car after everything that he had went through.
Rattlesnake said he was going to guess they put shaving cream in your hand. SSW said, boom.
Yeah.
That story. All I've ever did, I was a cook for 13 years and ran apartment complexes. That's what I did.
Yeah, but the best thing about being with Brat, we've been together how long now, baby?
Since 2010.
With her, she's been through the club thing. So when I was doing the club thing, it was good because she knew what, when, where, and how. She knew if I had an event and I had to be being a prospect, she knew I had to do everything alone. But even being alone, all the sisters of all the brothers that I was with accepted her as my partner and took her in. So if you know anything about the sisterhood, when you're in a club and you're prospecting and you graduate to probate, there was one time I was protecting a lifer at a party. So they put me on watch, and I was standing there just hanging out with this guy, watching him all night long. And some girl come up and was telling me how cute I was, how much she liked my eyes, and she was so drunk. She's like, I'm just going to get down on my fours right now and pull it out so I can put it in my mouth. Well, all the sisters heard that. It was on like Donkey Kong, wasn't it?
SSW,
you girls were all over it.
Oh, yeah. SSW said, wait a second. The guy who survived, did he have a 36 or 37 Chevrolet car? Chevy car.
The guy that survived what?
And then killed himself.
At the Foundry?
Yeah.
No, he was in an everyday car. Yeah, this is Sevier Steel in Bettendorf, Iowa. So this is a steel foundry. It was called Sevier Steel. They do a lot of government contracting for the Rock Island Arsenal. Most of it was tank parts, and then a lot of it was like jet parts and stuff like that. But yeah. So, Brat's got her new stickers. Did you show everybody your stickers?
I haven't since more people come on.
So the stickers are only like $4, $6.
This one is 4.
She's got more mugs.
And then that one is 6, and then the next set of mugs, when I get some more mugs, this will be going on a mug. That one.
Yeah. It's been a while since we done a live, everybody, so we wanted to show our love. We're a little over 4,000 subscribers now, trying to reach 5,000 by June or July. Trying to grow our channel. We want to thank each and every one of you for your support. We want to send out our love. You guys have supported. The main thing is y'all supported me while I was trying to help her through her cancer. And let me tell you, it was so hard for me to try to do everything and not have a support system. Y'all was my support system.
And I'm grateful for every one of you.
Yeah, so I want to thank each and every one of you. So
it's been a crazy 6 months, almost a year.
Thank God.
Yep.
Her last appointment, she's cancer free, y'all.
And then I go in April again, or I go on the 10th.
Yeah.
To get my next set of scans.
And her weight, she needs to get her weight up a little bit, but dude, everybody, I'm feeding her.
I eat like crazy. I'm not scared. I got over to that whole scared to eat thing.
Yeah, she went through a hole because they kept shoving tubes down her nose, the nasal passage tubes to suck bad stuff out of her stomach. She's scared of that happening again. So either way, I want to thank all of you. God bless each and every one of you for being a brother, being a sister, and supporting us through all of this. And cheers. It's because of you guys I made it through.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. But I'm feeling much better.
All right, everybody. We just wanted to do this live. Holler at everybody. Much love. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in and joining us. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Have a great night.